My name is Kirsten Chaplin. I'll be presenting today about the differences in health between social classes. Within society lay different social classes, which have different income and a different range of health standards. The level of access to resources increases with a higher social class, providing individuals with more opportunities to maintain their health. However, being of an upper social class places a role on these individuals that they must maintain the stereotype that they are given, which may be dressing nicely, eating healthily, and staying thin and fit. Combining these aspects are supported by the symbolic interactionism school of thought because these symbols often lead to the belief that these people are healthier, which we will find out later is true or not. We will examine examples from all over the world and find the cause of the difference of health and how to overcome it between the social classes. The first main topic we'll talk about is the differences between beliefs about body size and shape across the different social classes. One huge misconception in society is the idea that health is defined by your size and shape. Even children at Westwood Primary School in the UK believe that health is defined in this way. We have such an epidemic around the world that has spread this diet culture. Being a huge agent of socialization, the media has spread the diet industry, which has become a product of McDonaldization, creating diets that are more efficient and accessible than ever. But luckily, only two social classes have yet to be affected by this McDonaldization. Chapman in 2013 defines 4 body categories reflecting the different social classes. The cultivated and managed body groups involve the higher and middle classes. They treat their bodies as projects and base their sense of self solely on their appearance and their shape. The next two are the neglected and forgotten body groups. These groups are mainly consisted of overweight people, and they do not desire to change their body because they know they don't have the resources to do so. Funnily enough, these groups usually have a larger sense of belonging and less individualization because they need to work together in order to survive. This is much different to the cultivated and managed body groups who have a high incidence of anorexia nervosa, which is a disease that causes extreme isolation. So they have a less sense of belonging within their groups. In order to change this, we must stop the idea that health is solely based on size and shape. Each body has their own set point, and that set point is where the body is most comfortable. Someone at a higher weight may have a different set point than someone at a lower weight. However, their bodies are most comfortable at those weights, which means that they are at their healthiest, even though they look differently. Being of an upper social class has numerous benefits. In 2013, Chapman discovered that health was being delivered in different modes to different social classes. The upper class learned about stress and cardiovascular disease, while the lower class learned about obesity. This should not be the case because health is not a flexible term. It is defined as where the body maintains homeostasis. In order to provide the same information, we should have free events for all individuals where we give out free t-shirts to completely eradicate the sense of in-group or out-group between the social classes, because the symbol of their clothing will just disappear with the new free t-shirts that everyone will wear. In addition, the upper class most often has access to insurance, where they are able to seek treatment and participate in preventative and detective behaviors more easily than the lower class. In a study done by Hott, Rose, and Brown in 2016, it was found that 53% of women with reliable transportation were more likely to go get a mammogram compared to a smaller 39% who do not have reliable transportation. They also found that individuals with a higher education were more likely to participate in preventative and detective behaviors. This may be due to education being a huge section of society where obedience is taught, and people who receive higher education usually have more financial resources. So this means that we need to offer more resources to people of lower social classes. Contrary to the benefits experienced by people of upper and middle social classes, the lower social classes experience huge, unbelievable disadvantages. They are more likely to suffer a larger burden of disease, including mental health. A study done in 2004 by Montano Rodriguez, Boxay, Borrell, and Solar found that 51% of basic supervisors of the working class suffered from poor health, compared to a mere 14.6% of higher class businessmen. Why is there such a huge difference? Well, lack of resources experienced by the lower social classes is a huge culprit of this. A study done by Zhu and Zhang in 2017 examined the dismantling of the Chinese social welfare system from 1991 to 2010. During this time, the caloric intake of a low-income citizen plummeted from a healthy 2,605 to 2,000. This was due to their new need to invest their money in health or educational expenses and compensate and sacrifice nutrition. The only way to combat this inequality of resources is to set government regulations in place. The government is one of the largest contributors to society because the government sets laws and regulations in place that limit people's access to resources. However, we do know that some countries have combated this problem and come up with a solution, including the number one healthiest nation in all of the world, which is Sweden. As we have seen, it is so clear that having less access to resources contributes to poor health. As we've seen in society, families that continue to have poor health and continue to be in lower class situations find it harder to get out of these situations and are never able to reach the true goal that they desire. However, Sweden has combined the educational system with the government and healthcare system in order to revise their healthcare policy. Across the entire government, each level has a different responsibility for healthcare. Throughout the country, every single citizen is covered by a healthcare policy that covers a huge, wide range of services. By implementing a similar system in the United States, financially allowing it to happen by levying taxes would allow the United States to raise from their 39th rank in the world to a higher rank and allow more opportunities for people in lower classes. Creating equality in healthcare would give individuals the opportunity to maintain health in a different standard. Resources should never create a border between an individual and healthcare that is needed.